Top of the morning to you. Although it's technically afternoon. Well, there's my first screw up on my brand new channel. My name's Steve. I'd like to thank you for stopping by. This channel is, well, actually, this is a friend of mine's fault. The other day I made a video about a shortwave radio. I've been an avid shortwave or just radio monitor, listener, voyeur, whatever you'd like to call it, whatever fits your bill, for a long time. This probably started out when my folks used to have a old Chevy station wagon. It was blue, it was probably built in the 60s, and it had a hell of a AM radio in it. And I used to sit for hours in the passenger seat and listen to the radio. And I hate to tell you how many times I left it on and ran the battery down. Needless to say, my folks weren't too enthused. But Father was used to tell my mother, well, it could be worse. He could be out, breaking car windows or something. So, if anything, they encouraged it. That's kind of how I started. This channel is mostly about shortwave radio, but don't let you not having a shortwave radio stop you. Almost everybody has access to at least an AM broadcast radio. There are plenty of things to listen to. I've heard a lot of people say radio's dead, it's going to go digital, yabba yabba yabba. You know what? Don't listen to those folks. They're full of beans, and all they want to do is make money. This is something you can do on your own that doesn't have to cost a dime. You only need a couple things. You need a radio. This happens to be a Helicrafter. It's a S40A. I got this at an auction actually, and it was in I take that back. I didn't get this at an auction. This came from, that's two screw-ups. We're not off to a good start. This came from a friend of mine's estate. He passed away and willed a lot of items to me. One of them being almost all of his electronic stash. And let me tell you, he had a big electronic stash. If you watch the other video, I'll put a link at the bottom in the description. If you'd like to watch that, that's kind of a basic get you started thing. It's just some thoughts. It's nothing concrete. You really only need a couple, three things to get started listening to and monitoring radio. There are a number of different ways to go. One thing you're going to need is, ta-da, a pencil or a pen. This happens to be a Sharpie. You're going to need, ta-da, a 33-cent composition book that still costs 33 cents, amazingly enough. At the time of this video, this creation, it happens to be very close to new school year. Composition books at the local office supply, big box store, wherever, Wally World, Target, the drugstore. Every place and their brother has one of these for sale, and they're dirt cheap. Go buy a couple. Actually, go buy about a dozen of them. Use them for other things. You don't have to have them just for... Anyway, get your ruler and make some lines. This is what I use. You don't have to use it. My suggestion is you'll snoop around on the internet or think up your own. I got columns, the date, the start and the end time, the frequency, the mode. We'll go into that later. The station if they have a call sign, and then some notes. Like the notes can be anything. Like I had a really great sandwich at that time, or something, or I heard a funny program, or it can be anything. And feel free to modify that. The only rule here is that you write it down. You can use the computer, although if it croaks on you, your logbook may go bye-bye. I suggest you just write it down. the batteries never go dead on your logbook. Anybody can pick it up. It may be a valuable, cherished family heirloom 20 years from now. I have, I don't know how many logbooks. A lot of them. Probably about 30 of them over the years. I think I have about roughly 2 a year. So there are actually more than 30. And I like to go back and look at them from time to time. There are some good sources on the internet. Snoop around, do some research. Like I said, if you're starting out with just a crummy AM band radio, this works just as well. There's nothing to stop you from, toward the evening, hearing stuff from several states away. I used to regularly listen to stations in Chicago for the baseball game. There are also some other areas you can go to. Can be as inexpensive or as expensive as you want to make it. My suggestion is, if you're going to buy a brand new piece of equipment, do a lot of homework. If you watch the other video, it suggests, there's some suggestions. I'm not going to really repeat that. I might even clone that video and move it over to this channel. Like I said, this is the first video. Feel free to leave a comment. It's not going to hurt my feelings. Keep it somewhat nice. Other people can read this, I don't know. Don't put anything you wouldn't want your mother to read. How's that sound? I'll try my best to keep the language down to a low roar, although you'll hear an occasional unfriendly or unkind word out of me. That's just, I'm sorry, that's kind of the way I am, but I will promise you to keep it in check. I'll try. I don't know, I could make a swear jar if I want. If that makes you feel better, I'll leave a comment about it. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up. If you don't like this video, let it have it. I never know what people like or don't like unless they do one of a couple things. They either shoot it down in flames with a thumbs down, or they send me a comment or an email directly. It tells me which way to go with this. I don't need 600 videos about world band radio if nobody watches them. It's useless time, wasted. It's time wasted. If you're already a amateur or beginner or professional radio monitor person, and you hear something interesting and you think the rest of the world would be interested in it, by all means feel free to share it. If you want to send it to me directly or leave a comment. Other people are always on the prowl for new information. If you got a great radio at a garage sale or something, or an estate sale, or it floated down on an umbrella from heaven, let us know. Let me know. There's no us here. There's just me. Sorry. Well, there's a cat. I have a cat. Trying to think what else. If you have a cool picture, of a shortwave site, there are, millions of potential viewers. There are millions of potential people that could, take a picture to share with everybody else. This is just meant to be fun and friendly and kind of easygoing, and informative. I don't know. I've droned on long enough here, I think, for a first video. I'm trying to think. Keep it friendly, keep it clean, keep it lighthearted, keep it short, which I haven't done. What else is there? If you listen to Scanner, those things are welcome, more than welcome. It's an extension. We're kind of going to cover. I don't know, originally this was intended to be shortwave, but I, since thought it over and thought, we're just going to cover DC to white light. And, if it fits into the kind of the communications realm, whether it be business or entertainment or data or, you know, pirate, you know, if it has to do with radio and you think somebody might be interested in it, let me hear about it. Feel free. So I guess we've gib-gabbed enough. I'm gonna try and put well, I'm gonna start out pretty aggressive with this channel and try and put one new frequency a day up, and it may be something you've heard before. That's okay. Feel free to comment on it and say, you know, it didn't take rocket science to tune WWV. But you know, keep in mind too that there are some folks that haven't heard these things before, and they're newcomers, and we'd like to share that knowledge with everybody. I strongly encourage people, as this gets bigger and there get to be more videos on there, to use the search engine provided by YouTube. It's pretty good. I'll try my best to give this decent names and spell it properly and have good descriptions. Ooh, I just bit off a big chunk. I get that rule get broken. There's 3 mistakes. Oh, I don't know what else. Other than that, I think that's probably enough for the first video. This is the, I guess, the pilot video or the getting started video or whatever. You probably won't see my face too much. I'm not terribly photogenic, nor do I have any real plans on being. One thing I will try and promise you on this channel is we will try, there again, I got a frog in my pocket. I will try very hard to stay on, stay on topic. I've noticed that about a lot of channels. This will be the first. No, this isn't wandering off. This is just describing what the thing's about. I've noticed this about YouTube video channels and in life in general, that when you get a little fame and fortune behind you, then you tend to wander off topic, and usually what happens is you start to express your personal or political or other aspects of your life. Though you start to express those views, and I personally don't like that. I've tried really hard on my other channel not to do that. It's a little tough. I usually put when I do that, I usually try and put a warning in a nutshell that says that, you know, we're going to talk about the Helicrafter, and there at the end I try and save those personal opinions or views, whatever you want to call them, off-topic things, for the end. And I usually put that that's a soapbox thing. I'll try really hard not to put any soapbox things on here. You know, I can always make another channel that's whatever, the Shortwave Listener's Guide soapbox, and people come complain all they want. Well, it is exactly 13:43 right now, and I don't really have terribly many rules. I try not to, you know, let's not get a lot of rules. Let's not listen to me drone on. Okay. Again, if you have a comment or a question, feel free to leave them. One other thing I will say is, if somebody has a question and I don't get to it, and you happen to see it and you know the answer, feel free to answer it. I'm not going to cry my eyes out. The purpose of this is to kind of help people, and it doesn't matter who helps somebody. You know, if you'd like to subscribe to this channel, that'd be great. This is, again, the first video. I probably won't get too many views or subscriptions for a while. Let's just see how it goes from there. This will be another one of those potential failed attempts, like the blog and all the other dumb things I've ever done. I got a feeling that I can stick to this, and if my viewers, potential viewers, want to help and nag me about it, that'd be great. Okie dokie. Take her easy. Have a groovy day.